Hey everybody, and welcome to my kitchen. I get the feeling that this weekend we should make some waffles. Let's get started. Let's start out by making one of my favorite syrups. In a small saucepan over medium heat, we're going to add 4 tablespoons of butter, half a cup of sugar, half a cup of buttermilk, half a tablespoon of corn syrup, and half a tablespoon of vanilla. It's so easy, you basically just add half of everything. Just kidding. Mix everything together until the butter is melted and the sugar is dissolved. At this point, I like to turn down my heat to low because I'm sure all of you have seen those volcano experiments where they add the baking soda and the vinegar. Yeah, that will happen if you're not careful. So at this point, you're gonna add 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda to the syrup, stir it up, and then your syrup is done. Set that aside and keep it warm while we make our waffles. For these waffles, you're going to need 2 bowls. You're going to separate 3 eggs, put the yolks into one and the whites in the other. Try not to get any of the yolk in the whites because we're gonna end up whipping those up, and if we get any of the fat in there, they won't whip up very good. To the bowl that has the egg yolks, go ahead and add 3/4 of a cup of sour cream and mix that all up. Add in 1 cup of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 tablespoons of cornmeal, and 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Mix until everything is combined. I love waffles. Every time I stay at a hotel and if they offer a waffle bar for the continental breakfast, you better believe that I'm making myself one. Or sometimes 2. Leave me a comment below telling me if you like waffles. Add in 1½ cups of buttermilk, 5 tablespoons of melted butter, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. You don't want to overmix this batter because it will make your waffles tough. If you have a little bit of lumps left in it, that's okay. These egg whites aren't going to do much for our waffles if we don't put a little bit of effort into them and whip them up to stiff peaks. That means we're going to whip them up so that they're nice and firm and they can hold their shape. You'll know the eggs are done when you whip them up, and then you take your whisk and you pull it up and the eggs come up and make a little peak and they don't tip over. That's when you know you have stiff peaks. You can whip these egg whites up with an electric mixer, but I believe that everyone should whip up some egg whites by hand at least once in your life. It does take some time and it does take a little bit of effort, but I think it's a good thing to learn how to do, and you're strengthening those muscles. So just like our families, we aren't going to be much good if we're just sitting around in our homes and in society doing nothing. But I believe that if we put forth a little bit of effort in strengthening those family muscles, we are going to be so much stronger in everything that we're trying to do and create in our homes. Today, for example, I was out doing yard work and I had all of my kids out there with me. We were raking the leaves, we were pulling weeds, we were mowing the lawn, we were just getting the house ready for spring. I could have easily done all of that by myself, and trust me, it would have gone a lot faster. But I find the value in teaching my children how to do yard work. Invite your kids to come and cook with you, and they can take turns whipping up the eggs. This is a great way for them to spend time with you, learning how to cook, plus they get to do a little bit of science. Go ahead and fold in half of those whipped up eggs into the batter, and then taking a rubber scraper, you're gonna just fold them in gently. Now don't do it too fast or too hard because you do not wanna just deflate all of those eggs that you just spent so much time whipping them up. Once those are incorporated, go ahead and add in the other half and gently fold in until they're incorporated. Heat up your waffle iron, and then we're gonna go ahead and spray it with some cooking spray so that those waffles don't stick. Go ahead and fill up your waffle iron with about half a cup of batter and then cook them according to your waffle iron instructions. When the waffles come off of the iron, go ahead and slather on some of that butter, then pour on some of that buttermilk syrup that we made, add some fresh whipped cream, some fresh fruit, and dig in. You're gonna love these. Go ahead and check out this video right over here where I teach you how to make my favorite breakfast casserole. Please subscribe so together we can strengthen our families one meal at a time. We will see you in the next video.